Men, when another man enters her life, her entire routine shifts. Before we start, hit subscribe, drop a like, and comment if you've ever noticed these exact routine changes and later discovered another man was the cause. Change. 1. She's suddenly working late or taking business trips she never took before. When her work schedule suddenly requires significantly more time than it did for months or years, without corresponding career advancement, new position, or company changes that would explain increased hours, she's using work as cover story for time with another man. The work excuse is convenient because it's supposedly non-negotiable, and you're expected not to question professional obligations. What this change actually reveals. This change reveals she's creating blocks of unverifiable time where she can be with a fair partner while having built-in excuse you're not supposed to challenge. Work is perfect cover because questioning whether she's really working makes you seem unsupportive of her career. She's exploiting your respect for her professional life to hide personal betrayal. Notice if the increased work time correlates with actual career progression. If she's suddenly working dramatically more hours, but there's no promotion, no new project she can specifically describe, no change in responsibility, and no additional income, the work isn't real. Real increased work hours come with verifiable changes in job circumstances. If the only change is her being gone, more claiming it's work-related, verify whether work actually requires this. Watch whether she can provide specific details about what she's working on. If you ask what project is requiring all these late nights, and she gives vague answers like, just catching up on stuff, or, you wouldn't understand, it's complicated, she can't provide details because the work doesn't exist. Real work comes with real details. If she can describe her day's activities in morning, but can't explain what kept her late at night, the late hours weren't work. Pay attention to whether her supposed work schedule is verifiable. If she claims to be working late, you could verify by calling her work number, driving by to see if her car is there, or checking if her computer shows activity. If she's defensive about verification, or creates reasons why you can't check, it's because verification would expose the lie. If she works from home and claims evening work, but you notice she's not actually working, she's lying about where that time goes. Observe if business trips are legitimate. If she's suddenly taking work trips she never mentioned before, to places she won't specify, or for purposes she can't clearly articulate, verify with her employer whether these trips are real. If she's vague about travel details, won't let you take her to the airport, or comes back from supposed business trip with no materials or evidence of actual business, the trip was personal. Notice whether work excuses increase when you have plans or during times she'd normally be with you. If she suddenly has to work late every time you had date night planned, or work trips happen on weekends you'd spend together, the work excuse is specifically being used to avoid time with you while creating time for someone else. Why this confirms. Another man. This change confirms another man because the sudden dramatic increase in work time without corresponding job changes means that time is going somewhere else. She's repackaging affair time as work time because work is unquestionable. The late nights and business trips are when she's with him, and the work excuse prevents you from objecting or investigating without seeming unreasonable. Change 2. She joins new activity or hobby that occupies regular time slots. When she suddenly starts a new gym class, running group, book club, yoga sessions, or other regular activity that takes her out of the house at consistent times each week, and she discourages your involvement or interest in this activity, she's created scheduled affair time, disguised as personal development or social activity. What this change actually reveals. This change reveals she's establishing regular scheduled blocks when she'll be unavailable and unaccountable, using hobby or activity as cover. Affairs require regular contact. By claiming she has class or group every Tuesday and Thursday evening, she's created recurring windows when you expect her to be gone and won't question her absence. Notice if the new activity actually exists in verifiable form. If she claims to have joined gym class, check if that class actually runs when she says it does. If she mentions running group, verify if such group exists and meets at those times. If she's supposedly in book club, notice if she ever mentions books they're reading or people in the group. Non-existent activities can't provide real details. Watch whether she actually shows physical evidence of the activity. If she's supposedly doing intense workout classes, but never comes home sweaty, her workout clothes are clean, and her physical condition doesn't improve, she's not exercising. If she claims to be at yoga, but shows no flexibility gains and can't demonstrate any poses, she's not attending yoga. Physical activities leave physical evidence. Pay attention to why you can't join or participate. If she's joined activity, but becomes defensive when you express interest in joining, she needs you excluded for reason. Real hobbies welcome partner involvement. If she creates excuses for why you can't come to even one session to see what it's about, or why you can't meet her fellow participants, she's protecting a fair by keeping you away. Observe whether the activity schedule is rigid and non-negotiable. If she won't miss her class or group for anything including important events with you, it's because the scheduled time is when she sees a fair partner and missing it means missing him. Real hobby classes can be skipped occasionally. Affair appointments can't be missed without jeopardizing the relationship she's trying to maintain. Notice if she's reachable during the activity time. If you try to call during her supposed class and she doesn't answer, then explains phones aren't allowed or she doesn't hear it, verify if that's actually true. If she's unreachable during every activity session with consistent excuses, she's not doing the activity, she's with someone and can't be interrupted. Why this confirms another man? This change confirms another man because new regular activities that occupy specific time slots create structured affair time. He's available at those times, she's created cover story for being gone, and the recurring schedule normalizes her absence. You stop questioning where she is on Tuesday nights because you think she's at book club, she's actually with him. Change 3. She needs significantly more me time or girls' nights than ever before. When she suddenly requires much more time alone, more nights out with friends, more weekend trips with girlfriends, or more space from you than was ever necessary before in your relationship. She's creating opportunities to be with a fair partner while framing it as healthy self-care or social time that you shouldn't question or oppose. What this change actually reveals? This change reveals she's repackaging affair time as personal time or friend time that you're expected to support. By framing absences as self-care or maintaining friendships, she makes you the bad guy if you object. The sudden dramatic increase in needing space isn't about her actually needing alone time. It's about needing time with him without you being suspicious. Notice if the me time has explainable activities. If she needs an evening alone, what does she actually do? If she can't articulate what she does during her alone time, or descriptions are vague like just relaxing with no specifics, the time isn't actually spent alone. If she needs evening to herself but comes home looking like she's been out rather than relaxing at home, she wasn't alone. Watch whether girls' nights are actually with female friends. If she claims to be out with girlfriends, you could verify by checking social media to see if those friends are actually out, or casually mentioning the evening to one of those friends later. If friends don't corroborate her story, or if she's defensive about which friends she was with and what they did, the girls' night wasn't what she claimed. Pay attention to how much me time suddenly became necessary. If she used to be content with occasional alone time and now needs multiple evenings per week away from you, something changed dramatically. People don't go from enjoying their partner's company to requiring constant space without a reason. That reason is often another person making your presence feel constraining. Observe if the me time is actually spent on self-care activities. If she claims to need time for self-care but shows no evidence of what self-care occurred, she's lying about how the time was used. Real self-care leaves evidence. She'd seem more relaxed. She might mention what she did to recharge, or there would be signs of activities like reading, bathing, or hobbies. Notice if you're being systematically excluded from her social life. If she used to include you in friend gatherings and now consistently goes alone, she's either protecting a fair partner who's part of these outings, or she's using friend gatherings as excuse while actually being with him. Sudden exclusion from social activities you used to attend together indicates she needs you absent for reason. Why this confirms another man. This change confirms another man, because the sudden dramatic increase in needing time away from you creates regular opportunities for affair, while giving her excuse you're expected to respect. She's seeing him during her supposed me time and girls' nights. The space she needs isn't from you specifically. It's space to maintain other relationship. Change. 4. Her sleep schedule and morning routine have changed noticeably. When she's suddenly going to bed much later or earlier than her normal pattern, waking up at different times, spending long periods in the bathroom with her phone, or her morning routine has shifted in ways that don't match her stated schedule. She's accommodating communication with someone in different time zone or schedule, or creating private time to communicate with a fair partner. What this change actually reveals. This change reveals she needs private communication time with a fair partner that she's carving out of sleep schedule and morning routine. Late-night phone sessions happen after you're asleep. Early morning texting happens before you wake. Extended bathroom time creates privacy for communication. These timing shifts accommodate affair communication needs. Notice if she's staying up much later than you. If she used to come to bed with you, but now consistently stays up hours later with her phone, she's communicating with someone after you're asleep. If she claims to be watching shows or scrolling social media, but you notice she's typing extensively, she's having conversations she doesn't want you to see. Watch if she's waking up earlier and immediately grabbing her phone. If her alarm goes off before it used to, and she immediately begins texting, she's communicating with someone who's available at that time. If she takes her phone to the bathroom first thing and spends 30 minutes in there when she used to spend 5, she's having morning conversations with a fair partner. Pay attention to whether she sleeps with phone near her now. If she never used to sleep with phone on nightstand and now she does, or if she keeps it under her pillow or on silent nearby. She's monitoring for messages from someone even while sleeping. If phone used to charge in another room and now must be within arm's reach, she's maintaining constant connection with someone. Observe if her morning routine timing has shifted without schedule change. If she's waking up earlier but not leaving for work earlier, the extra morning time is being used for something she's not explaining. If she's taking longer getting ready but not improving her appearance proportionally, the time is going to communication, not preparation. Notice if bedtime has become a point of disconnection. If she used to want to go to bed together and now actively prefers you sleep before her, she wants alone time after you're asleep. If she's staying up in other rooms instead of the bedroom, she needs space for communication you won't overhear. If intimacy that used to happen at bedtime has disappeared because she's not coming to bed with you, she's choosing communication with someone else over connection with you. Why? This confirms. Another man. This change confirms another man because sleep schedule and morning routine changes create private communication windows. She stays up late to text him after you sleep. She wakes early to message him before you wake. She takes extended bathroom trips to have video calls or send photos. The timing shifts directly accommodate maintaining contact with someone whose schedule she's now coordinating with. Change 5. She's suddenly unavailable during times. She used to be free, when time slots where she was previously reliably available, like lunch breaks, commute times, afternoon hours, or specific weekday evenings, now show patterns of unavailability where you can't reach her, and she provides vague or changing explanations. She's filled that time with someone else and can't be interrupted during affair contact or meetings. What this change actually reveals. This change reveals affair partner occupies time that used to belong to you or to her normal routine. If she used to take your calls during lunch and now never answers, she's spending lunchtime with him or communicating with him. If afternoon hours when she was reachable are now blackout periods, those hours now belong to affair maintenance. Notice which specific times have become unavailable. If her lunch hour transformed from time she'd chat with you to time she's consistently unreachable, that hour is affair time. If her evening commute that used to include talking to you is now silent time, where she doesn't answer, she's either calling affair partner during that drive or processing the affair emotionally without you interfering. Watch patterns of unavailability. If she's unreachable every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 2 to 4, but available other times, those specific windows are scheduled affair contact. If unavailability happens randomly but frequently, she's dropping everything to respond to him whenever he contacts her. Patterns reveal whether it's scheduled affair time or reactive affair attention. Pay attention to explanations for unavailability. If she claims to be in meetings that never used to exist during those times, verify whether her work actually has more meetings. If she says she's busy with projects but can't describe what projects, the excuse is fabricated. If reasons for unavailability keep changing, she's making up excuses rather than having legitimate, consistent reason. Observe if unavailability coincides with other suspicious behaviors. If the times she's unreachable are also when her location can't be verified, when her phone behavior is most protective, or when she seems most distracted afterward, those times are significant. Multiple red flags clustering around specific time periods confirm those periods are affair-related. Notice if she's defensive about your attempts to reach her. If you mention trying to call during lunch and she gets irritated that you expect her to be available, she's protecting affair time by making you feel wrong for normal relationship contact. If she creates rules about when you can and can't call her that didn't exist before, she's establishing boundaries around affair time. Why this confirms? Another man. This change confirms another man because the time she's newly unavailable is time she's giving to him. Affairs require communication time and physical time. By becoming unavailable during windows that used to be open, she's allocated that time to maintaining other relationship. You can't reach her because she's actively engaged with him during those periods. Change. 6. Weekend and evening plans. Suddenly don't include you. When she starts making more plans that don't include you, where you used to do things together. When she's busy on evenings and weekends, with activities she won't let you join, or when your couple time has been replaced with solo or girls' activities that happen with suspicious frequency, she's systematically creating time without you, because another man occupies that time. What this change actually reveals. This change reveals she's organizing her social life around seeing a fair partner and needs you not present. If weekends were couple time, and now she's consistently making other plans, she's spending weekends with him. If evenings you used to share now involve activities you're excluded from, those evenings are affair time disguised as legitimate activities. Notice if she's still making plans, just not with you. If her calendar is full, but you're not on it anymore, she hasn't become less social. She's redirected social time away from you to someone else. If she's busy every Friday night but used to consider that your night together, Friday nights now belong to someone else. The time didn't disappear, it was reallocated. Watch if you're being specifically excluded. If she's doing activities you could join but she discourages your participation, or if she's going places you used to go together but now goes without you, she needs you absent. If her friend groups that used to welcome you now apparently don't, because she says they want girls, only time, she's creating explanations for your exclusion so she can be with a fair partner without you. Pay attention to how last-minute plans materialize. If she used to make weekend plans with you in advance, but now something always comes up last minute that excludes you, she's keeping schedule flexible for a fair partner. If plans that supposedly existed for weeks are suddenly mentioned the day before, they're being fabricated as excuses for time she's actually spending with him. Observe whether couple time has quality issues. If you do get time with her, is she present or distracted? Is she checking her phone constantly? Does she seem like she'd rather be elsewhere? If the rare time you get together is low quality and she's clearly mentally absent, someone else has her attention even when she's physically with you. Notice if declining to join her creates conflict. If you try to come along to something she's planned and she gets upset, defensive, or creates reasons you can't come, she's protecting time and space a fair partner occupies. If she makes you feel bad for wanting to spend time together, that used to be normal, she's creating guilt that prevents you from interfering with a fair schedule. Why? This confirms another man. This change confirms another man because systematic exclusion from her plans creates space for him. She can't bring you to events where he'll be present. She can't include you in activities she's told him she'll be doing alone. Weekends and evenings that used to be yours now belong to a fair partner, and her explanations for your exclusion are cover stories. Change 7. She's guarding her schedule and being vague about future plans. When she becomes secretive about her calendar, won't commit to plans with you far in advance, is vague about what she's doing and when, or resists any scheduling that would lock down her availability, she's keeping schedule flexible for a fair partner whose availability takes priority over yours and whose schedule she can't reveal to you. What this change actually reveals? This change reveals she's managing 2 schedules and can't let you see the real one. If you could see her actual calendar, you'd see time blocked for him, or you'd notice suspicious gaps that don't match what she tells you. She's keeping schedule guarded because full transparency would expose the affair through unexplained commitments or through seeing who she's actually spending time with. Notice if she resists planning ahead with you. If she used to be fine making plans weeks in advance and now won't commit to anything beyond a few days, she needs schedule flexibility for a fair partner. If he requests her time last minute, or if she doesn't know when he'll be available, she can't lock in plans with you that might conflict with seeing him. Watch if she's vague about daily activities. If you ask what she's doing tomorrow and she can't or won't give specifics, she either doesn't want you knowing or she's leaving schedule open for him. If she used to share her day's plans openly and now everything is vague, she's hiding how she's actually spending time because truth would reveal a fair. Pay attention to whether her work calendar matches reality. If she mentions having meeting on Tuesday, but you later find out she wasn't at work Tuesday, her schedule lies are covering a fair time. If she shows you calendar that's mostly empty, but she's always busy, the real calendar you're not seeing is full of him. Observe if she's tracking your schedule more carefully. If she asks detailed questions about your plans, wants to know exactly when you'll be home, or shows unusual interest in your availability, she's coordinating her affair schedule around yours. She needs to know when you'll be gone or busy so she can safely see him without you catching her. Notice if cancelling plans with you is easy, but cancelling other plans is impossible. If something comes up and she has no problem cancelling your date, but claims she can't miss her other commitment no matter what, the other commitment is a fair partner. If your plans are always flexible, but her other plans are sacred, you're the lower priority relationship. Why this confirms another man? This change confirms another man because schedule secrecy and flexibility are required for managing 2 relationships. She can't show you her real schedule because it includes him. She can't commit to advance plans with you because his availability takes precedence. She's keeping calendar guarded to hide a fair time and maintaining flexibility to prioritize him over you.